Hello, Internet. I'm Matt Haas. This video is about general life advice for my 21-year-old son. I also did a video on how to save, earn, invest, and give. A link to that video is in the description. Go ahead and check that out if you wish. First thing, actions are what matters. Words don't mean squat. Look at someone's actions. Ask yourself who is benefiting. Who's benefiting financially? Who has more power? Who has more status? Who's getting more opportunity? All of that should come from merit. People, who deserve those things should get them based on merit. And look at the small and the big things. Who is benefiting, and is it fair? And is it fair based on merit? Respect. Respect is earned. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be awful to people because you don't respect them. Not at all. You need to be nice. But no one gets instantaneous respect ever. You need to earn that. And you should seek to earn respect from others. You shouldn't demand people respect you unless you've earned it. Avoid people who are complainers, people who complain about circumstance, people who complain about other people. It's a draining type of thing. Stay away from it. And then, man, when you're dealing with people, go with your gut. If your gut tells you something's not right, it ain't right. If your gut tells you there's something more to this, there is. Your gut is never wrong. Scary how that works out. It's never wrong. Bad service. If a company F's you over, you just drop them. 100% pull out and never give them service again. Money talks. The way companies care about one thing, and that's sales and money. Drop companies who treat you bad. Remember what happened to me? I applied for that loan for the COVID relief. I had a 20% reduction in income. They rejected my small loan. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they rubber stamped that. That rubbed me the wrong way. Dropping them. Paying off that card this month, closing it, and I'm closing the account. Nothing you else do is going to impact anything. Talking to the right person doesn't matter. Money. Money is what companies care about. Don't reward bad service with sales from you. Don't do it. Surround yourself with experts. Okay, doctors, lawyers, accountants, tax preparation. You want A players on your side. Your primary care should be a physician, a doctor, not a DO, which is the osteopathic doctor, which is a little bit different, and not a physician's assistant, a doctor. Same thing with vision. I mean, the guy that does my eyes, he has a doctorate. He knows what he's doing. You don't want to cheap out on these things. They're critical things. Lawyers, accountants, tax prep. Don't cheap out. Personal items. Okay. Things you use every single day. Spare no expense. Beds, pillows, razors, chairs. This chair I'm in was $1,200. I bought the chair 19 years ago. It's awesome. All right. Luxury items. They're mostly BS. Cars should get you from A to B. I know you want that Tesla. It'll come. Have $1 million and then get your Tesla. Seriously. You can earn $1 million much faster than you think. You and I both love watches. We're both watch enthusiasts. It can get pretentious really fast. I mean, have a good watch because it's a well-made watch. Don't do it for anything other than that. True millionaires don't give a flip about luxury items. They don't. Now, they'll buy stuff like buy it for life stuff. They'll buy good belts. They'll go buy good shoes. That's not what I'm talking about. But, you go to the part of town where there's 4-bedroom houses, kind of larger than the single family house, like one step up from the single family house. You go to that neighborhood and you look for the 8-year-old Toyotas. They're the millionaires. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because how do you think they got that way? Saving money. This is mostly for travel. Like, here's the deal. Like, you want to protect your time and your energy. So if you're traveling, the cheapest thing to do is get into an Uber share. But then it'll take you extra time. You just, traveled to get to your destination. You want to spend extra time getting to the hotel? No, get the cab or get the Uber XL. And, that's that's the way not to save money. But, we had the executives I dealt with, they would have friends drop them off at the airport and pick them up. Why? Because long-term parking's $80. So, see, they would save money where it makes sense to save money. And then if you are traveling, don't get room service. Eating in your room is horrible. Go out, enjoy the city. Eat out when you're traveling. When you're in the hotel room, it should be for sleeping. Sleeping. Okay, discounts. Use and find discounts. Paying less for something doesn't change the value of that something. You've just paid less for it. I know that's funny. And discounts are good on things that repeat. So car insurance and mobile phone service. If there's a way to get a discount every month, like the good driver discount, I get a discount because you're in school and you get good grades. Of course I apply for that. That's something I get every policy. It renews. Use online discount codes. You install the Honey browser, install the retailmenot.com, pay less for stuff. And coupons, if you want to do coupons, ain't nothing wrong with coupons. Coupons are free money. Municipal government. Yeah. The whole point of municipal government is to extract money from you. Oh, so you do a rolling stop through a stop sign. Boom, you get the fine. It drives me up the wall. Believe me, they're there to get extra money from you. How do you think the police department survives? How do you think the fire department, a lot of that revenue comes from fines. It comes from taxing your property too, but it comes from fines. If you're ever facing a legal issue, you have to resolve it quickly. Do not run. Shut that down. I got a speeding ticket out of state in New Jersey, and I got the ticket, paid it right away, and I got the notice it was unpaid. Here, what was going on was a different county sent me the ticket and I paid it, but the other county didn't. It was really messed up. I could have threw my hands up in the air and dropped it. No, I got a three-way conference. I got them all on the phone at the same time, and I resolved that stuff quick. I ain't playing that. You got to chase this stuff down. Never run from it, because you know what? Municipal governments, they've got the police department, and the police department will come knocking. So, don't run from that type of problem. Powerful people. This is just a slide. Just know who these people are. You don't have to seek them out. You don't have to befriend them. You don't have to kiss their butt. You definitely don't want to make enemies of these people. But the people I have listed here can positively impact your life if you need their help. And if you get too high up, then they're pretty much untouchable. So, the people in Washington who represent you in the House of Representatives and the Senate, they're kind of untouchable. But the Pennsylvania House rep and the Pennsylvania senators and everyone down the line, just know who they are. Wherever you end up, know who those people are. And if you have the opportunity to meet them. Don't seek them out. Just they actually have power. If one of these people knows you and has beef with you, it can get ugly. So don't make sure. Alcohol. There's a couple definitely things. There's things you don't want to do. You never want to purchase for minors. People in law enforcement love nothing more than to punish harshly that activity, and never drink and get behind the wheel. Of course, you could have horrible consequences for yourself or others, but The other side of that is you'll likely go bankrupt. There is a whole industry around this, and it's completely unfair. It'll wreck your life. You'll have it sticks with you. Higher insurance rates. You have to go to classes which are impossible to cancel. They do stupid things where you've got to show up in person to say you're not going to be there, and it's ridiculous. There's whole cottage industries around that. Just don't play that game. And then, being drunk, it isn't all that. It's expensive. It's expensive to drink while you're out. And you feel like shit in the morning, Get a little something going and just coast. Don't go ape shit crazy. It's not fun. Complaining. Don't be a little bitch. No one likes a complainer. There's two types of people in this world. Those who act and those who get acted upon. And you're always going to have a little bit of both of that. But if you do get acted upon, don't complain to the masses. Go to the person or agency or group that can change things. When our car got broken into before we were going to go down to your aunt and uncle's, I was mad because I didn't know that crime was a problem. Guess what? Crime was a problem. I didn't feel it, because it wasn't happening to me. They weren't publishing it in the paper because newspapers were going under. And I complained. I went to the township and I said, look, this is a problem. No one knows about it. Here's a solution where you can text everyone in the township who opts in. I brought a technical solution forward. Next thing I know, they were like, can you help us with this? I was like, yes, I'm a tech expert. I'll be happy to. I had 2 sessions in front of 10 uniformed police officers per session, and I was telling them how to run this system. I was essentially telling them what to do. It was very intimidating, but I did it. The point is, I went to the group, I went to the the township commissioners, and I brought forth a solution, and I worked. As I didn't complain on Facebook, I didn't, stuff like that. That's how you deal with. You can complain. You have to complain to people who can do something about it. Be in control. You need to plan, allow for these contingencies. And if something goes wrong, that's how you deal with it. You go to the person that can actually change it. Don't just complain. No one likes a complainer. Learn the word no. The word no is a complete sentence. Capital N-O, period. That's it. It's a fully structured sentence. You don't owe anyone any more explanation if you don't want to do something. And it could be something minor, or it could be something big. It could be a business opportunity. Whatever you're turning down, just say no. And if they push you and they try and say, oh, well, you're just afraid, aren't you? Well, you could say, look, there's many reasons. I'm not going to get into it. The answer is no. Like, just no. Steve Jobs, he was interviewed and he's like, Apple says no all the time. We say no so many times. He made the decisions. He set the vision. He greenlit what people would work on, the projects and the products, and they said no to every. Apple could have went many directions. They could have been, but they stuck to their vision. No. Successful people say no all the time. Learn it. Do it. Free time. Be a lifelong learner and be active and build something and work towards something on your downtime. Avoid things that aren't rewarding. Watching a whole TV series, jumping all into video games. There's no payoff. Now, I'm not saying you can't veg out every once in a while, but I mean, look at me. I just have a passion for everything. Desktop publishing, web development. I've taught myself the piano, video editing, woodworking. I taught myself, these are just, I love to learn, and it's, you don't want to get to your deathbed and go, oh, I watched a lot of TV and played video games. So just always be learning. It's fun. Addicts. You might come across some people who are addicts, hard drugs. Here's the thing. You often can't help them, and they'll just take excuse. It's a drain. The only way they can get help is if they want to get help, and you, as much as it pains you, you can't make them get help. I dealt with someone, you know who I'm talking about. He's no longer with us, and he sold me a lot of tools. But he was in prescription painkillers, and it was a problem, and it's heartbreaking. But yeah, you have to not let those people into your life, and you have to know that you cannot help them. They have to want to help themselves. So just be careful around them. I wish I didn't have to talk about this next topic, but it's dealing with enemies, or more accurately, people in this life, it's sad to say, will try and take from you. They'll try and take your social status. They'll try and take financially. They'll try and take power. People look for those who are weak, and they exploit it. They get success by pushing people down, and they're horrible, and they need to be dealt with. How do you deal with them? You give them the proverbial punch in the nose, not physical, but you stand up for yourself. You say what you don't like. You let them know you're onto them, and most of the times they'll back down because they'll know you're not an easy target. They'll know you'll speak up. They'll know you'll push back, figuratively, and you'll go on, and everything will be fine after that. In most cases, if you do get into a physical fight, it should only be because your life is in danger, and when that happens, it's all out destruction. You need to seek to immediately incapacitate and get out of the situation. No yelling. I mean, total destruction. Someone's on the floor and they can't move. Good outcome. Someone's unconscious. Good outcome. And then you get out of there. Physical things can go so wrong with a physical altercation. Really wrong. Really life-alteringly wrong. It's almost always not. The pen is mightier than the sword. It really is. I know it sounds cheesy. And, stuff can be replaced. Someone wants your money. If you're getting mugged, that's fine. You can earn more money. Insurance can cover some stuff. It ain't. Be smart. Think. Now, if you do need to right some serious injustice, in most cases, it's best to walk away and not deal with it. But if you need to deal with it, you need to go all in, nuclear option, total destruction, not physically. You can destroy them socially, financially, or legally, and it needs to be well thought out, not off the cuff, and that's how you have to deal with that situation. Hopefully, the first item means nothing's going to escalate to that point. But if you have to, you've got to go all in. And they should know it's you. Doing shady stuff in secret is cowardice, and that's not how you behave. They need to know it was you inflicting the proverbial pain on them. But in most situations, you should never do that. So if you have to fight, you fight for quick incapacitation, ruthless. And same thing if you really need to go after someone because they've wronged you very badly. People go after the weak. Don't be weak. Stand up. Push back. Nip things in the bud instantly. Never think, I'm going to deal with this later. No. Instantly. All right. There you go. Photos. Photos are the most precious thing in your life. Do the 3-2-1 backup technique. We'll talk more about that. Camera hardware can be replaced. It's the photos that are irreplaceable. I have 130,000 photos, and they're all backed up in triplicate. Take care of your teeth. Teeth pain's the worst pain in the world. And it's expensive to fix problems. Hearing. Oh man, I listened to those. I had the iPod with the white earbuds, and I had a very loud car system. I'm paying for it. The ringing is annoying, and you can't heal bad hearing. It never gets better. I don't know what it is about the ears. You can't. Hearing aids just blast louder sound into your ear and it accelerates it. It's awful. Protect your hearing. Processed meat. This is a type 1 carcinogen, which means it very most likely, uranium is a type 1 carcinogen. Processed meats, so things like pepperoni, things that are all smashed up in the package and with plastic around it. Now, steaks are fine, things like that, but hot dogs, things like that, try and get rid of that. Final thoughts. All right, here we go. You have to dream. You have to have dreams and goals. You need to plan and you need to make things happen. Don't just meander through life. Always work towards something, a big vacation, a big payoff, something you really want. And you get one chance in life. This is what sucks. The way society is built, there's no rehabilitation. You do something stupid and that's it. You get one chance. The smallest thing can wreck you. Work hard, save and invest smart, play hard, play safe too, and enjoy life. The world is abundant. I know it doesn't seem like that, but if you want it, you can get it. You have to work hard to get it. And then experiences are better than stuff. Rack up the experiences, travel and other things like that. Now, the world's going to come at you and it'll run you over. But when you try and do something, it'll feel very static. Nothing happens. You've got to push to make things happen. You got to act. Marketing and people. Again, no one gets success without people, and no one can reach people without marketing efforts in business or just in dealing. Communication. I know we've had this conversation before. You're very good. You can always get better. Never stop improving your person-to-person communication skills. And then, if things start to go crazy, just track it. Just make a spreadsheet, throw things down, keep track of things over time. Even if you don't know what you're doing or the best way to organize it, you have to track something before you can see patterns and make solutions. So don't be afraid to do that. And try to understand all the moving parts. I managed a $27 million institution when I was on the school board with 8 other people. There's 9 on the board, but still. And as complicated as that organization is, things, once you step away and look at the big picture, it was still kind of simple. What's coming in? What's going out? What are we paying for? What are we getting? It's really track stuff. Care very little about what others think. Rich people don't care what you think about them. That's for sure. 2 or 3 people in your life care what they think. Other than that, don't be the person that tries to impress people. It's no fun. Be a kind and gentle leader and ruthlessly crush your enemies. Ideally, you won't have any enemies. And I know a lot of this stuff sounds narcissistic. A lot of this stuff is me. But guess what? No one's going to be looking out for you. You've got to fix you. And if you're going to try and help someone, you've got to be in a good place. You can't help others if you're not in a good place. You need to be in a good place financially. You need to be stable, and then you can really help others. And you should, but you can't do that putting yourself at huge risk either. And then, when Pop-Up told me, it was the first item on this. The only thing Pop-Up ever gave me was keep money aside so you don't have to go in debt when you need it, because you're going to need it. And he was right. And that's all he told me. And it's not a knock on him. That's all he knows. Pop-Up worked for state government all his life. And we had what we didn't want for anything. We didn't have a lavish childhood, but it was good. And he worked paycheck to paycheck his whole life. And that's not what I'm doing. That's not what you're going to do. But learn your own path along the way. And then when you have your own son or daughter, or sons and daughters, you add to this and then you give it to them. All right. Be awesome.